Now let's go back to why do we actually cancel the policy on the use of mother tongue as a means of instruction in the classroom. Let me start. I'm going to be very categorical. We agree. We are not saying that it's not a fact. It's a fact that when children are taught in the mother tongue, they learn better. This is a fact. The Minister of Education is not saying that that is a fallacy. No, we know that is a truth. We know that when children are taught with the mother tongue, they learn better. Constructivists have already proven that. And even if you look at the National Policy on Education, right from the beginning, you look at 1977, revised 1981, and subsequent revision, I think we have about 7 different editions of the National Policy of Education. It's still part of the policy. Children should be taught with the mother tongue from primary 1 to 3, and then English will be taught as a language within that years, that is primary 1, 2, 3, and then transit to English as a medium of instruction, and then mother tongue, of course, as subject within the curriculum. So I want to be very categorical because I have been seeing a lot of write-ups trying to show us that English use of mother tongue is more effective. It's not like we don't know that. I can write a much better paper on that, probably, if I want to, because part of my PhD research is experimental work in terms of the best method of teaching when you come to teach at senior secondary school. So we're not arguing with that. But then there is that ideal situation, and there is the reality. In an ideal situation, I don't know whether you are aware of the IFE research, where it's part of the reason that we have that as part of our policy. A research was conducted in IFE, where you have 2 schools, one control school, another an experimental school. The control school were taught using the mother tongue, while the experimental school were taught using English. That is, the experimental is with the mother tongue, while the control is with English. At the end of the day, they were examined, and the experimental group taught with the mother tongue far from much better than those taught with English as a medium of instruction. So we are aware of that. But then even in that experimental group and control group, the situation is an ideal situation where all the learners speak the same language, all the teachers speak the same language, and materials, textbooks, everything was available for that instruction. So the textbooks are there. The teachers were trained on how to use the mother tongue in delivering the curriculum. Ideal, as I said, ideal. And it's a very big distance between the ideal situation and the realities of our classroom. You are from Nigeria, I'm from Nigeria, we are all from different parts of this country. We know that hardly do you find a homogeneous group of students in a class in Nigeria, because we come from a diverse culture. We come from 500 plus languages in a country. You have more than 500 languages, we have intermarriages, we have people moving from one state to another. We move a lot. Migration, when the experiment was done, then there are limited movement. People from southeast are not as many as they are now in southwest. You can't even compare. People from northwest moving from northwest down to southeast, southwest. We don't have that much movement. But now, everybody, anywhere you go, you find this heterogeneous group. Different people coming from different languages. In a typical Lagos classroom, you will find 7, 8, or even more than that, children from speaking different languages. At the same time, if you look at the teachers, you have teachers that are from this state, teachers from this state that speaks different language. How do you implement that policy? We're talking about inclusivity. By the time you select one language, say, let's say in Lagos, let's take Yoruba because it's the most spoken language in Lagos State. But what about other learners in the classroom that cannot speak Yoruba? Automatically, you have excluded those children. If you go to the North, for instance, and say, I'm going to speak Hausa in a classroom, you may get away with it because in the North, in the public school, mostly it's people from the North that attend the public school. But even in the North, if you go to a private school and say, I'm going to use Hausa as a medium of instruction, what about other learners in that class that cannot speak Hausa? What about even teachers that are teaching that cannot speak Hausa? How do you do with that? So the fact of the matter is, the learners, if you implement this policy, if we are implementing the policy, then automatically the issue of inclusivity, some learners will be excluded.
Does that mean that the policy is outrightly cancelled or is being reviewed?
It's not being reviewed. Okay. It's being cancelled because, as I said, we are looking at reality. You can't continue to do something because it's already there, you are implementing, why will you go back to that? If something is not working, then why continue with it? Because we have this discussion with all the commissioners of education. We sat down with them and we discussed. Commissioners from Southwest, Southeast, South-South, North Central informed us that they cannot implement this policy, and it has not been implemented. You go to any of the classroom in this 4 geopolitical zone, you discover that that policy is not being implemented. And then commissioners from Northwest are implementing, Northwest is implementing, but they are over-subscribing to that policy. In an ideal situation, based on the provision of the policy, the children should be taught to primary 3 and then transit to English. The transition is not happening. By the time you go, you see that they are using mother tongue up to senior secondary school. And it's affecting the learners. Then let me come back. You asked me, countries like China, countries like Japan, countries like Germany, what they are using their own mother tongue in terms of instruction. I will say this to you. What is their official language? Nigeria has one official language. Our official language is English. So by the time a child is taught with the mother tongue, the transition did not happen, he is still going to write national examinations in English. And that same child is going to compete for a job with others that have been taught with English because they couldn't implement the policy. Automatically, you have excluded that learner. Because I come from a poor background, attended public school, doesn't mean I should be excluded. Because all our textbooks, all our resources, IT gadgets that you can log into are available in English. Even in primary 1, 2, 3, that the policy specify that they should use mother tongue, the textbooks are in English. And the examinations are written in English. So when people argue, when people are criticizing us for making this policy, I look at them and I'm surprised. Have you been to the field? Have you gone to these classes? Have you examined really what is happening? And because when we came to say that we are cancelling that policy, we were categorical that we are not arguing that mother tongue is more effective. We are not arguing that. But the reality of the matter is our context, we are rich in cultural heritage. I'm proud of that. But our context will not allow it.